Hello and welcome to How to Stay Married So Far. If you are listening on podcast, you could, if you wanted, go over to YouTube at the Sawalha-Adderleys and see what an absolute tip the house is.
It's not that bad.
Is this going to show up or are you going to cut the shot?
What do you mean is what going to show up?
Oh, look, people don't live like this.
Everyone lives like this.
Anyway,
You've got some strange notion that no one has anything out.
Welcome to the podcast. So please hit the subscribe button, whether you're listening or whether you're watching, and welcome to any of our new listeners. So, how to stay married, ... so far.
I haven't. Well, right, I'm going to have to say this is. I haven't got a clue what is happening.
Why are you starting this looking angry?
I'm not angry. I'm just saying. I'm explaining.
I just want to say.
Well, no, because last week it was an incredibly traumatic, difficult podcast, and I want to thank everyone for all of your comments, all of your messages, so many messages of support, and talking about how important it was.
Yeah, it was
what we talked about.
You know, we've read all of your comments, every single one, and we were moved, inspired, everything. It's just this community just blows us away.
But so sometimes we hit really big topics like that. But in this instance, we sometimes each of us will take more responsibility for one than the other. We'll bring an article, we'll bring a topic, and the other one doesn't know. Usually I bring sex to the table, and Nadia then runs away.
Every single time.
Nadia runs away with a tail between her legs.
Every single time, it's your choice. Somehow it's about sex.
I like sex. What can I say?
So this is and sometimes we just choose something that's popped up on Instagram that we think. Sometimes it's something really shallow on Instagram,
yeah.
But it's quite interesting where it leads us to, and sometimes not. Sometimes it's deep. So anyway, I think this is some kind of game. I think it's some like a card game or something.
Right, about relationships.
Yeah, of course. Well, it's not cookery bloody podcast.
I don't know.
Is it? Right. His answers to these 12 questions will make you cry. Send them to him. We might not do all 12 if it gets boring.
So, right.
So first question.
So my answers to these questions might make you cry.
Don't hold that in your head because then that's going to become a thing.
It's a huge pressure.
Just be yourself.
Huge.
Answer as you would. Don't.
All right.
Because otherwise I'm going to feel like I've got to cry. You're going to feel like I'm going to make me cry.
Right.
I didn't actually read that bit when I thought this was going to be funny, which it probably would be.
Right.
Okay. If you took a photo...
So what is the title of this podcast?
How to Stay Married So Far?
No, I know, but what is the title of this episode?
Nadia and Mark go deep.
Oh.
Nadia asks Mark difficult questions.
Oh.
Nadia
All right, we've
demands.
Done it. She's turned into
Answers
ChatGPT.
from tough
All right,
questions.
you've given us 3 options we can choose from.
If you took a photo of me at my absolute happiest...
You. Me of you.
I'm asking you the bloody
question. If I'm taking a photo of you or if you're taking a photo of me.
If you...
Me.
Took a photo of me.
You.
At my absolute happiest. That's not Rain, it's the dog. What would I be doing?
This is not going to be a very long podcast.
Why?
Because you'd be standing on a beach, looking at the sea, with the wind blowing through your hair. And it wouldn't be too cold, so you could feel it against your body and against your skin. But you wouldn't want to be in a bikini or in a swimsuit because that always makes everyone feel a little bit self-conscious. You wouldn't want that self-consciousness. You'd want to be able to have the notion that you're returning to a warm log fire afterwards, cozying up. But you would be at your happiest. That photo would be with your arms outstretched, head up, looking at the sky, possibly with a tear in your on the lip of your eyelids. That would be the photo. Right.
So let's do this both ways. Why should it just be you? So I think you...
Hang on, so now you're taking a photo...
I'm ask the same question.
Yeah, but who's the photo?
God, you're taking a long time to catch on to this, Martin. You're the one with the GCSEs.
O-levels.
I think possibly in New York, in the old days before Trump, in the cinema, with all 4 of us, really excited about a film, knowing that after that we're all going to go and eat burgers.
Yeah.
Your happy place is the cinema.
My happy place is film.
Yeah.
film making, film watching, film talking, but it's not.
Yeah, but when you're making a film, you're never happy.
No.
You're tortured.
No, and that's part of the creative
Can't
process.
argue
That's
with me.
fine.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
no, I know. So taking the happy. So I would say somewhere like for example, last year at the Tribeca Film Festival. So the part of it that didn't mean I was happy, I wasn't with you guys.
Exactly.
I was with my mum, which was lovely.
Somehow, with film, with the people that you love,
Yes.
knowing that they're going to enjoy it with you, makes you very happy.
Yeah, it does.
We can go to your lonesome self if you want,
Yes.
but you'll be crying.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest change you've seen in me since we met?
That's a good one. Oh God.
And folks at home, you should use these questions with your.
What's
with
the
your
biggest change I've seen in you since we've met?
Of course, mine is very obvious for you.
I don't think you've. Well, I mean, like me, you've kind of stopped drinking. I'm not thinking like that. A change in you as a person. I don't think you've mellowed. I don't think you speak more slowly.
Oh,
I
don't,
think,
Mark. That's worrying me. Why do you have to always give me health anxiety when you do
I wasn't meaning
these?
to give you. I just think you just go slowly. We watched something the other day, and I was struck by how rapidly you used to speak.
Oh, don't.
Anyway, but that's
Mark,
not.
that's
That wasn't
brain
meant
aging.
that wasn't meant as a health thing.
That is brain aging.
I think you've. I like to think that you're less dismissive of things before you've given things a chance. But
Who's talking slowly now?
no. I'm just trying to work out because I think you've always been open-minded. You've always been experiential. You respond to things honestly and authentically, and if you like something, you like it. If you don't, but I don't think you've changed in the idea that you will make a prejudgment on so many things before you do it. You think if it's a film or it's a work of art, or it's creativity or something, an experience or a place even, you will, it's weird. You make a lot of judgments about it. You think you've kind of just, and I'd like to think that's changed over the years, but you've always, I mean, look, the one thing that's been consistent, and I think that's lovely, is you are a lovely person to experience new things with. You're my favourite person to do, whether that be mental, creative, cerebral, physical, experiential, spiritual, any of those things. It's great fun doing them with you, and I love experiencing things with you. So you've always been open. But I was going to say, I think you've become more tolerant of certain things or open-minded to certain things, but I don't necessarily think you have. If I'm honest.
So we got to something you thought I might have changed, and then the idea
You've
that
always been kind. You've always had a big heart. You've always been a fabulous mum. You've always been inclusive around my elder girls, and you are so many of the things. I think one of the things about you is your consistency. So when you say what have I seen that's changed about you, I think I've seen you. This is a sad one. I think I've seen you over the years, and I can certainly see over the last couple of years, a certain heartbreak has crept into you around humanity that you would never have even entertained or thought about before. And I think it's just facing the reality of what we're going through in the world. So I've seen maybe an idealism go out a little bit.
Well, that's so interesting that you say, isn't it? Because I think I have a greater belief in humanity.
No, you do.
I think it's yeah.
But I'm talking macro close up to you.
Especially over the last couple of years, because the evil has shown itself more clearly, but so has the good. So I actually feel, but I'm very disillusioned with the day-to-dayness of the world. I'm disillusioned with show business. I'm disillusioned with any showy anything. But that's a good thing to be disillusioned with. I just don't like anything that is like, I've become less tolerant of the trappings of life, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, change, what's the biggest change? I mean, we should be maybe it's evolving. We should be evolving all the time, shouldn't we? Like in little and big ways all the time. Every day almost we are, aren't we? As we learn new things, as we, as we see more and more things about ourselves, where we're stubborn, where we're this, where our brain is slowing up. Oh my God, I'm not going to sleep tonight now because of that. All that stuff.
It's not that your brain's slowing up, you're just not so hurried in your...
Well, maybe that's because of my addiction.
Because you just got older and wiser.
Okay, so what's the biggest change I've seen in you is, first and foremost, obviously, since we met, because when we met, we were both big drinkers, and you've changed that massively because you were, it's 20 years sober. So that's a massive change. And wow, this is really hard. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because we all have little evolvements, like just said, a little change. But I don't think any of us ever change massively. A massive thing is to not be a drinker.
Yeah.
But I think you're very much like you always were. You've got the same beliefs. You've got the same fears. You've got the same ambitions. You've got the same drive. You've got the same hopes. They haven't changed. It's interesting, isn't it?
And I've got all the same anxieties, self-hatred and everything else.
Exactly.
Nothing's changed. God almighty, what a ball.
Fucking hell, nothing's changed.
What a fucking ball. Maybe I was all right when you met me then. Maybe I was just a package of just weird shit. I just took the alcohol out.
Because actually, you couldn't come up with much that had changed.
No, I can't.
You kept saying to me what you thought would have changed.
No. I sometimes think, I suppose what I was trying to say was, I sometimes pause and I think, it's quite nice the way, and I think, if I mention I want to see that film, she'll be like, no, you must be sick. And I'm like, no, she hasn't really changed.
No, but you haven't either. You are absolutely awful with that. Like, if I say, well, what's going to be? There's 25 questions for any shift in anything.
Okay, the next question, this is a stupid one. Nothing's changed. Move on. Nothing has fucking changed in 23 years.
Nothing has changed.
Well, maybe that, and we're happily married-ish.
What's the last thing I did that made you worry about me? Don't bring up my slowing brain.
The last thing you did that made me worry about you?
This is interesting. Both got to think about this.
Oh, God, I wish I'd had these before so that people don't have to sit and listen to the whirring of my brain as I kind of... Say again, what's the last thing?
Or anything. What's recently have we done that has worried us about the other one? I mean, for me, I would say that I worry more about things with you because you do, because of bipolar. So, like, I know that you get really intensely into things because you like we both do. But sometimes I worry that you, because of the way that your brain works and with all that's going on in the world, I worry that it could really tip you into a very dark place, taking on the worries of the world, being really political, being really driven in the community that's trying to shift so much. And I do worry sometimes that could take over and you could just get really dark with it. Because if you keep looking at everything that's going on, it makes us really dark, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, interestingly, I think the only thing that I could say for you is not entirely dissimilar, but just to perhaps less of a degree. Though I would argue that maybe I'm in all of that and a completionist. I mean, my problem is I'm a completionist when it comes to collecting or to analysing or to reading. I need to see all the articles. I like to see them. It's why I hope news content is quite good because I like to know what are all the angles, what's all the positions, what is every, and all that kind of stuff. And so that means one is trawler dredging literally everything. Whereas my worry with you is less about the volume necessarily of it all, but it's the depth and intensity to which it can hurt you. I get hurt, and I think we both get hurt by what we see, and we are hurt, and we can, there can be a form of self-harm in forever, engaging and never taking time out. And we've talked a lot about that in terms of us both needing, me needing to kind of work a way around, not just always sort of grafting and driving oneself. But I suppose if I have a worry with you is that sometimes I do worry that, and is that the question? What am I worried about with you? I worry that there could just come a point where you just break a bit. A part of you literally breaks off because we are in utterly uncharted territories, and we are witnessing, and this is no exaggeration, we are going through a time, whether you're engaged specifically in Gaza or not, say you're not even engaged in Gaza, but you're engaged in everything else in the world, everything else is fucking disastrous.
The cost of living,
everything is disastrous.
5 years' time, half the jobs are going to be gone in the world with AI.
So I worry.
We were talking about the AI schools again, and I'm like, and they're pitching it like,
it's exciting.
So you'll be able to save time because in 2 hours you'll get 6 hours worth of education.
It's not exciting. Sorry guys, get off the fucking thing. It's not exciting.
Yeah. So in 2 hours you'll get 6 hours worth of education into their brain, and I'm thinking that's sounding a lot like a computer, and that really fucking scares me. Yeah. So no matter where you look out in the world, it's scary. Everybody's bills are going up. Food is more expensive. Fuel is more important. It's more expensive. Everyone is dealing with this all the time, aren't we? And I mean, we're lucky in that we talk to each other about it. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking, wow, God, actually, if I were to ask my partner about what's worrying me, or I was about to, we don't talk about this. Talk about it. Because to be in this world at the moment and be worrying and to be all of that, and then to be lonely within it with somebody else, you might have both got to the point where neither of you really talk about what worries you.
But I mean,
and it's really important too. That's a good thing about being in a marriage, is being able to talk to each other. So if you're not getting that, try and break into that, because it's a shame if you can't.
And I would say that that's the macro stuff. I'd say on the micro stuff, I increasingly worry more and more about you crossing the road.
I was going to say, you're going to say.
Walking down a street. The girl said to me again the other day, how does mum function in the real world? And what they mean by that is and this isn't because Nadia indulges in this, but not in the rarefied celebrity world where, life is...
Why ever in the bloody
No, but to the extent that you're made up for your work and you're looked after, aren't you? Because you're a presenter. And you're cabbed to places and you get a Soho house and all this stuff. In the real world, when you come out of Soho house, when you're not having your makeup done and you're just in the street and you can't work Google Maps, I worry that you'll get hit by a truck.
I worry, and this is very real, that you're going to die from a massive piece of apple stuck in your throat. And you might listen and think, what the hell is she talking about? Every single day, Mark nearly dies from an apple because, like everything else in life, he has to rush through it. So he wants to eat the apple in 3 massive bites, and they would just block. The girls say to me all the time, don't
Well, I've nearly died twice.
So how about you start cutting up the apple? And how
I'll
about
chop the
I
apple
go
up.
back to the Green Cross Code?
Yeah, just cross the pedestrian crossings, babe. Okay?
What happens is...
You get impatient with the red man and you just go.
I just lose... I focus. When I'm not around, what's the first thing you feel you're missing?
My stomach's rumbling. That might be a clue. I think my stomach's saying, "Nice food." When you're
we'll quite often on the way to work, and when you're going somewhere, I'm going somewhere, we'll quite often say, "Oh, I miss you," and we've seen each other like every day for days. What do we mean when we say that to each other?
Well, it's odd because what I miss isn't necessarily what would be here if you were here, because I miss your face, I miss your smile, I miss you, I miss just you, your energy. Someone is so much more than just their physical body, aren't they? I mean, and so
Excuse me, that's actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
I miss my face, you just miss me.
No. I miss all those things.
That was actually quite a lot of things. That was actually quite
But then when you contrast it and you go to the next day and you're actually there, and I'm thinking she's just on her phone and she's just like we both are, all I see is the top of your head because you just head down and you're doing stuff.
If you dare,
Yes.
You're daring, are you?
No, I don't know. Daring what?
What are you daring here? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to allow
No,
you.
but what I'm saying is the reality of our pot kettle black.
Yeah.
The reality of our situation is that when we're together, we're often working. So what do I miss when I miss you? I actually miss the ease with which I know we totally get each other.
Right. So that was going to be exactly what I said. And then I had a terrible fear come in. Crushing
fear. That's big.
And this is big, right?
Okay.
And we've got to really be honest with each other about this.
Right.
And then I'll ask a sex question.
Right.
So.
Hang on, that was all so arbitrary. I don't understand. What the fuck?
Do you think that the reason we
miss each other?
Yeah. And it is. We do have a great conversation, and we riff off each other. No. And that we agree and so. Do you think it's a bit like we just need to be with somebody that just agrees with us? And it's taxing to be with those that don't.
Ooh, well, I'm trying to work out if that's a good or a bad.
Is it a bit like being in an echo chamber?
Well, I think there is a bit of that. Someone came on to one of the lives the other day and says he just says yes to everything she says.
Oh, God. Well, they've obviously never been there before.
No. But it's like he just agrees with everything. I think it was Fat Terry. I think it was someone.
It's absolutely... Oh, yeah, but he was a troll and came in.
No. Don't call him that. I quite like Fat Terry. Well, you could say that, but then most people are in relationships where they don't miss each other because they don't get on. And presumably they don't agree about much.
What?
What's wrong with agreeing? I don't think it's about being in an echo chamber.
It's not that it's wrong. It was just a thought that came into me, and something like, "Oh God, is that I have to be aware? Do I have to be?"
I thought you were going to ask something else that you were going to say about,
people that will never listen to people that don't agree with them.
Oh no!
I do watch people. I listen to people that I can't stand and I don't agree with, but like if I'm online or something like that. So is that a bit of a problem with us that we agree on a lot of things? Actually, we don't agree on everything.
I don't really know where you're coming from on this. I thought the thing you were going to say is I've got a cause for concern, and this might come, what did you say, as a crushing blow or something? Are we maybe, and this is something we both asked, are we maybe too codependent or more codependent than most other people? And then I look at other relationships and I think if I had to have that level of formality and officialness in just the informality of being with someone at home and making this and doing that, and I get me out of any relationship. I don't want to be in it ever again.
We were talking about this yesterday on Loose Women, and I was saying, we tried. Mark and I are totally codependent. We discovered that we were codependents. We discovered all of this. We went to therapy. We read books. We tried not to be codependent. We tried not to be restless.
Great book by David Stafford.
And then it was just like, I don't like it.
What? Not trying to stop it.
Not being codependent. And somebody was saying yesterday on this room, well, I'm not coupley. And I was like, oh, what does coupley mean? Well, a couple that are together and do things together and know where they are and everything. And I said, oh, well, I'm coupley then. And they were saying, well, I suppose I'm wrong then for being really independent. I said, nobody's wrong. Everybody has, everybody should have whatever they want. But for me, like somebody looking in and seeing us as codependents, I'm like, oh God, I couldn't bear that. It'd be so suffocating.
Yeah.
I couldn't bear it the other way, where it's almost a formality between you where things are discussed.
I think
and things are decided and things are like planned for, and and you have independent lives. That is totally fine, but I just wouldn't want to be like them.
Well, it's like there's a woman who just popped up on Married at First Sight, and there's a film recently that came out called The Materialist with Pedro Pascal. And, again, I mean, it wasn't saying anything radically new, but this idea of, the swipe across dating apps and all that kind of stuff, encourages us to look at partners as a menu, a sort of list of ingredients. And I like a bit of that, a bit of this, and it'd be great if they're 6'4" and with a bit. And then you sort of, it's so reductive and doesn't speak to the actually wibbly wobbliness of what a person is, all this emotional stuff.
Well,
and then, but hang on, and then on that point, I look at a lot of these people who we know. I can think of people we know who are so formal and almost like they're when I see them engage with their partner, it's like you're kind of strangers still, really. And then I think to myself, so really, I wonder if for you, the relationship part of your life, as in where it sits in your life, really is just a kind of lifestyle box tick. Got the husband, got the wife, they're kind of not everything I want, but that's ticked, and that's almost it done with. Nothing. It requires nothing else of them.
No, but when you're saying that, you're saying it with judgment, and I don't
Totally
think,
judgment.
No, but I don't
Total
think you should
judgment.
have judgment. I think you should just say that's not for me.
I just don't understand.
Because
no, it's not
people
for me,
will
but
look at us and go, "Oh my God!" I haven't done anything wrong."
for example, our relationship is my mother's idea of hell on earth.
Oh.
But I'm so pleased I'm not like my mum.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter that she wants to be like she is.
No, it doesn't make her a bad person. But we're talking about throwing ourselves at the sort of look. But I sometimes actually get an absolute sick-inducing revulsion when I look at other people's relationships.
Mark, it's a bit strong.
I do. I think, how can you not feel more?
Well, I think you've been very judgmental.
I am being judgmental, but you know what? People don't want to watch these things for me to just namby-pamby around in the park.
Oh, God, I've lost my bloody place
Oh,
now.
fucking hell, guys.
Okay, well, you think up a question
I
then.
can't think of it. We're doing them off this fucking thing.
No, but it's got...
What do you mean you've lost it?
Because
How
we
can
were
you have lost
talking
it?
for too long. It's got to come up again.
Oh, what do you mean come up? What is it? Some old-fashioned thing?
So yes, I would miss the same thing. I miss having the conversation, the ongoing conversation. At the moment, yeah, I think even more so at the moment, because so many people think so differently with what's going on in the world, that it makes it even more difficult, doesn't it, to be like with others that don't have it's like that shortcut thing, isn't it? It's like I always say, if you've got siblings, siblings just know so much that you don't have to explain first. And not that we're brother and sisterly, because that's horrible for a marriage, but it's a bit like that.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
a
know what you
part
mean.
of marriage that is like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
Oh, hang on.
It's going to make me cry.
Too sweet.
Oh. What?
What's one fear you've caught me trying to hide, even from myself?
Oh my God. What's one fear
Or any?
you've caught me trying to hide even from myself? Oh,
Yeah, what do you think I hide from myself?
so really, I feel like there are too many double negatives in that. I don't really understand. What would you say for me? And maybe that'll give me some
I think something that you still, a fear that you have that you still don't want to face, is that you have sobriety, right? And that's brilliant. But I don't think that you face that your sobriety is not as powerful as it could be. I think you're still held back by not drinking.
Right.
I think that you know, like you'll often say, well, the thing is, I can have a good time without being drinking, but yes, only like it going out is still like going into a situation.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you could never go to a party again. I don't believe that you could never go to a club again. I don't believe.
Oh no, I think I could. I just don't want
but
to.
it's a fit. No, no. This is really a good one.
No, but
actually,
I'm genuinely just.
this is a real good fit. It's not just that you can't be. So say like we were somewhere really lovely. We're away on holiday.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a, we're on a beach. We've gone out to dinner. Like that day when we just started dancing spontaneously with the kids.
Yes.
Right? I believe that is still in you to have that sort of joy without drink.
Yes.
Right? But I think you get euphoric recall, and I don't think you face this. I think it's still a fear inside of you. I think you're frightened of going to that place where you would have normally had drink and drugs. You don't believe that's in your soul because you love music and you love dancing and you love gorgeous women and you're married to a gorgeous woman. And sometimes it makes me really sad that we would never we're older now. I mean, I'm not talking about going to, I think you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. And I think it's a fear that is unspoken to yourself or to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think I agree.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I agree, but I mean, I do also think that I wrongly prioritise just so many other things. So I'll prioritise family up above. I mean, I saw a very dear friend yesterday
which
and
was
I
so
actually
lovely.
said to her, I said, and I took, you know, and this is the kind of friend I am. If I, you know, and for any of those, there'll be a few people who probably watch this who really, you know, I have a good friendship with, and perhaps feel that they don't see enough of me, or could see, you know, would like to see, we'd like that contact a bit more. It really isn't about you, and it really isn't about the person. It's about me, and it's about something that I summarized yesterday when I was sat with this person, and I said to them, look, I said, not estrangement, because we've been in touch, but the distance, or the not seeing each other, or the not nurturing time together of friendship that I haven't pursued. I want you to realize that actually part of that comes from the very same wellspring in myself of not allowing myself time to have spiritual downtime and focus and relaxation and joy and kickbackness. I said there's a maxim in recovery and addiction and alcoholic circles, which is the great thing about getting sober is you get your feelings back, and the awful thing about getting sober is you get your feelings back, and that's what you realize the drugs were doing. And I said this to her, I said, you know, seeing you is always, it built up for me as something to be fearful of, almost, because I was worried about how overwhelming my ease would be, and I knew I would access and be able to talk about things that I am just trying to keep on the margins, or, you know, I'm in denial about, or I just don't want to have to face or front, or if I open my mouth about it too much, which I do with you, but there's only so much you can do in any relationship, family. So, and I think that idea speaks to what you're saying, so it's not an alien thought. I agree.
I just think you deserve more serenity with your sobriety, because when you find those moments, and I've said this a lot to you over the years, when you do find it, when you take a breath, when you're not running away from yourself, when you're not trying to get ahead of the game in everything you do so that you miss the moment. And I just think whatever it ends up being, meditation, you know, AA, whatever, that should be your goal, but you're frightened to acknowledge it. If we were saying, what's your fear? That's what I would think would be your fear.
Yeah. Okay. But I wouldn't disagree.
So what's my fear?
I would say, okay, understanding that that's the kind of concept.
Which doesn't have to be the God.
No, because I just thought the question was
you're frightened of your farts. It can be whatever.
The question was annoying. I would say for you, I think it's two things. I think you never think you're intelligent enough, though you know you're intelligent, but I think you forever still think you're not as intelligent as a lot of people you know and interact with and talk to. And I would say that literally drives me mad. It makes me almost feel, I feel such a sort of protection and sort of tribal fury. I want to pull a knife out and start charging at people, because it's like your intellect and intelligence and emotional intelligence far surpasses any single person you know. And that is a fact which will not be able to be disputed. So don't sit there going, well, there are some. No, fuck them all. They're all lovely, but they're, you know,
actually,
none of them meet you in that. But the other one, I would also say, I think you have done something similar over the years, is as a mum. I think where you do that as a mum, you don't, your fear is that you haven't been as good a mum, or as this a mum, we haven't done that. Yes, you identify, food, the nurturing aspect of food and feeding a family. I don't mean literally, I mean emotionally, and in terms of all of the nuance and everything that you go through, and yet you still will query whether you've been a good mum. I can tell that that's still something that always hangs you up. But the reason I hesitate in saying that, I felt the same as a dad with all my children, and I think part of being, I hope, a reasonably good parent is forever asking those questions.
Absolutely, a good parent says, where the fuck?
Where can I do better?
Where could I have done better? But on the intelligence thing, and it's funny, it's strange, I was talking about this the other day as well.
You don't stop talking, Nad, so you're probably safe bet you've talked about everything this
I was
week.
actually saying the opposite, because I think that I have become very aware of actually that for years, I think, and a lot of people are like this, that don't finish formal education, feel like have imposter syndrome in loads of situations, but actually one of the good things about getting older is that you realise that actually these parameters, the norms, somebody can talk the talk or have the right accent or whatever, but actually now I drill through everything. I drill through everything. I question everything. I just go, oh, okay. I might have been intimidated by you before, but I would be now. And that's a lot down to you. So you might still think like that, but you don't realise you've had a massive effect on that. And I honestly don't feel that way anymore.
Oh, good.
I sometimes get frustrated that my brain doesn't work. I get frustrated sometimes with where I could have had more education and I just can't, compartmentalise. But I feel pretty good about that. I think my hidden fear from myself is I sometimes am really, really terrified that everything I've done has been a mistake.
Right.
Do you ever have that?
Yeah.
And you lose like a sense of like who actually you are.
Right.
I mean, like every so often I just think, what the fuck? Who the fuck have I been? And how have the decisions I've made? I can sometimes have moments where I question everything about myself, and then I can feel like I'm falling into a big black hole. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to fall. I'm going to really fall. And then I'll pull myself up and I'll do something else.
It's called existential dread. I've had it since the age of 5. At the age of 5,
that's all right then.
At the age of 5, I was querying the validity, the veracity, the logistics and rationality of everything happening.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What are we all here for? Oh my fucking Christ. And then I get scared of like, what if one day all of that overtakes my brain and I'm not able to stop? Well, is that what happens just before death?
Could you be thinking all these things because of an interstellar object?
Oh, shut up.
Okay, what's next? Should we do one more?
Okay, one more.
If you haven't lost
okay,
it.
I'm going to let you just think of one.
Oh, God.
You've lost what?
I said unless you've lost it again on your phone.
No, go on,
you have
think
lost
of
it.
one.
That's why you've said it.
That's why
you've said it.
This was
you've
my
lost
plan.
the final question.
No, there's loads of questions. This was my plan to give you a little gift because there wasn't a sex question in it.
Right.
So, if there was one thing you could change about me sexually, what would it be?
Oh, God, your availability.
See my agent about that.
No, it's my agent too, so I have to... Jordan, your availability...
Check my availability. Excuse me, someone check my availability.
Yeah. And maybe, your proclivity and...
This is now a man standing, looking
I'm not
at
standing,
the
I'm sitting.
hugest
It's like an
array
oasis.
of a hot and run,
No,
hot
it's
and
an
cold running
oasis of
buffet,
opportunity.
right? And he's terrified that he's going to miss an opportunity.
Yeah. There's so many things.
Honestly, if you're listening on podcast, you have to go and watch on YouTube because he's like this. His eyes are like pinned open and he's like smiling like in a sweet shop and he doesn't know what to say. What a shame you missed his chance. Anyway, please do hit the...
Hang on, is that over?
I thought you couldn't speak.
Well, not that cross-eyed. Jesus Christ,
I thought you got your answer, your availability. That was your answer.
Yeah, but there were other things.
Okay, one more thing. His voice is going high pitched now.
Adventurousness. My stomach just rumbled again. My stomach is the third person in this marriage.
Exactly, and that always comes to bed with us.
I know. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for those questions.
Okay, hit the subscribe button and tell all your friends. And try those questions with your own partner and see where you end up and see if you cry. We didn't shed a tear.
You sounded really creepy at the end there.
What?
Just then you sounded creepy.
Darling, you sounded creepy when you said, more adventurous, more availability.